Right. Here we are again. This time it's the first meal of the day. I haven't figured out what I want to eat, but it'll probably be the same thing as yesterday. Um, this app I have is pretty helpful. It has all of the foods that I've eaten recently, and I can just throw that in for breakfast, and it keeps my diet pretty similar to what I've been trying to eat, and my macros it keeps them about the same. So having this like recent list is pretty nice. But for today, I think we're gonna do some steak, we're gonna do some berries, and we're gonna do some cheese. I'm not sure how many grams of berries or cheese or steak we're gonna do, but I have a general idea because it's what I've been eating for these last couple months. So I'm thinking, and I want to keep it even for the most part. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, but the little bars on there, they stay consistently even. I just want to keep them about the same. The carbs are going to be a little lower because berries tend to be a little lighter on carbs than rice or potatoes, which is, the other two types of carbs that I like to eat. So for today, we're looking at about 7 ounces of London broil top round, 200 grams of berries, and about 55 grams of cheese. So I've already got my setup made in a sense, where it's like this is 2 steaks. This is worth 2 steaks. I just air fried it and I diced it up, and now it's just easy for me to be able to weigh it, eat it, but it's diced up, pretty simple. Handy dandy scale, plate. And usually the trickier part when I do this is having to do the rice, because the rice usually takes a while, but since I'm having just the berries, it should be fairly quick. We want to put that on ounces, tear it again, and off we go. So let's do 7 ounces. And I like to cube these steaks smaller, just because it'll be easier to be able to get the right measurements. I know at Sprouts, when I ask them to cube it up for me, cubes are pretty big. I almost died last time that they cut it for me because I usually don't cut my steaks like with a knife or whatever. But because they had already cut it, so I was like, oh yeah, this is fine. And then I went to eat it, and I literally bit more off than I could chew, and I almost died, which was pretty freaking scary. But now whether they cut it or I cut it, I try and make them as small as I can, and yeah, hopefully I don't die this time eating my first meal. But anyways, that's my first meal of the day. I'll give you another close-up to what it kind of looks like. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, I'll see you guys later for lunch. Alright, y'all, meal number 2. So for meal number 2, we're doing 5 ounces of London broil top round, 55 grams of jasmine rice, and 60 grams of queso fresco. So what I should have probably done prior to this was get this rice ready, because this is the whole reason why I didn't want to do rice earlier, and it just takes longer than I would like. So we're gonna measure this jasmine rice dry, and then I have it here, so hopefully you guys can see. So we're gonna do 60 grams of dry rice, which I had trouble when I first started counting macros and figuring everything out, that I would just cook a cup of rice and measure it once it was cooked, and I found that that was the wrong way to do it, because I was not getting the right amount of nutrients that was marked on the label. Because if you look at the label on the rice, the nutrition facts, it'll say that, you know, those facts are based on the rice dry. So I never understood that, and I watched so many videos, and I was always so confused on trying to figure out what way was the best way to measure rice until I realized that I had been measuring it wrong this whole time, and now I measure it when it's dry, because that will be the most consistent way, which is what I was talking about yesterday, that you just want your weighing to be as consistent as possible. And if you weigh rice, if you weigh it when it's cooked, chances are you are not getting the same amount of nutrients every single time, because sometimes it'll have more water, sometimes, so the weight will just fluctuate too much. And for me, it's just easier if I could just weigh it when it's dry. So we're gonna go ahead and tare that, and let's weigh in some. Let's see. Let's tear that again. So tonight we're gonna have. What are we having? Or I guess for lunch still. It's 5 grams of top round steak. And I usually don't use this bowl, but I'm hoping that you guys can kind of see there. You know, I usually use like a plate. I like the plate. It's a little easier to eat from. So, like I had mentioned before, if you can see this, it says 5.27. I know I said 5 ounces, but like I said before, when you cook this or when you heat it up, it evaporates all like the water. It cooks the water. It just makes the water evaporate because of the heat, and by the time that this is cooled down, it will probably be under 5 ounces. But right now it's 5.27, so I'm okay with that, because this is a consistent weight, because this will be, I'll be measuring this the same. So I think that's good for now. We're gonna heat this up. We're gonna let this rice cook, and then for my fats, I don't want to take out the cheese yet, so it'll be 60 grams of cheese. So we'll just wait until this rice is done cooking, and we'll go from there. Right. Final meal of the day. Damn. So, what do we got? We've got 4 ounces of steak, and I need to restart this app because an ad came up. 4 ounces of steak, 60 grams of cheese, and 55 grams of jasmine rice. I did it ahead of time this time. We've got the jasmine rice cooked, ready to go. I just need to grab the cheese and the steak. this time. So I guess not fully prepared. But nonetheless, let's grab this guy. I like to keep this plate just handy. I hate having to put away and grab a new one, put it away and grab a new one. So this is the plate I was talking about earlier that I just use. So let's get this going. So I was just going through my my Whoop app, and I realized that since I increased my fats, my sleep has been just skyrocketing. It's been crazy. It's been really good. I was going from, I think I was getting like a 60% recovery on it, to these last 4 days I've been getting like over 80% recovery, which is crazy because I've never gotten that much in for that consistently, which I think is pretty good. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. So we're doing 4.2 because I know that it's going to, so that weight is going to come off after it gets dehydrated. Let's do bowl to keep the microwave clean. I just cleaned it, so I want to keep it clean and not have pieces of steak going everywhere. I guess in the meantime, we're going to do 60 grams of cheese, which is this. I think this has been the main contributor to my better sleep because I've been eating so much of it. I never thought that cheese could be so helpful. It's my favorite cheese too. It's a Mexican cheese, which is incredible. Who knew it would help my diet and my sleep? So that's 20 grams. I don't know if you guys can see that. This little block is 20 grams. We're off by about 40. Let's see if my measurements have been getting better. I usually can get this right the first time when I'm cutting it. But let's see. I think this is going to be over. For sure over. Almost by 2. I hate that sound. Does anybody else hate that? It's the worst. We're still at 50. That might be... Oh, that's... Oh, wait, what am I talking about? I need 60 grams. I'm tripping. Big time. So... 62. I'm not too worried about it. Going over a little bit is fine. Definitely going over my... Where the hell? Oh. I was right there the whole time. And it just also helps warm it up faster, like more efficiently, and there's no mess in there, which is incredible. But anyways, this is my rough 4 ounces of steak, rough 60 grams of cheese, and rough 55 grams of jasmine rice. This bad boy is ready, so time to pop it out. I got this handy dandy tool from my sister. It's pretty sweet. It doesn't let me scratch the, what is this, Teflon or whatever it is, from the inside of the rice bowl that I cook, the rice cooker, which is nice because I was messing this thing up, and then she got it for me, so now no more scratches. So now it can continue to not stick. But anyways, that is my meal for tonight. It's looking kind of low on the calories, but this is 1,500 calories for the day. Last meal. This is about, what is that? to it's about 350 calories for the day. But that's my meal. So time to do it again tomorrow. See you guys then.